Alright, I've got, you see a blazing fire going on in there. I just started up the fire. Now what I've got here, this is the filler neck for the water. I have it really just sitting on there loosely. And the idea, this is now my pressure release. I don't want it to fly off, but it's just sitting there so any pressure can come right out of there. Now I'm going to keep an eye on this. If too much steam comes out, then I'll have to shut this down. But for now, with my expansion tank bad, I'll see if that'll do the job for me. And over here, now with no extra pressure on the lines, the water pump and everything is tight. There's no leaks now. So I do believe it was certainly an over pressurization of the system because of the failure of this big red tank. So I'll have to get a new tank. But we'll see. As soon as this warms up, I just turned on the water pump to circulate water. I put in some plain normal water for now, and I'm hoping it works. So I'm going to fire up the fans, I should say. I need to get a switch on here right away. Originally this was an experimental setup. I didn't plan on actually living in here long term. That's some warm air coming out of there now. So I seriously got to get a switch in here, like maybe tomorrow. I see if I have one laying around. Mount a switch in here so I can just flip it on and off. But eventually I want to have a thermostat controlled circuit for the fans so that they kick on and off as needed rather than making this a manual setup like it is right now. But there's some nice warm air coming out of there. It's not hot yet. I'm just warming up the system. So we'll see how it holds out. Alright, I'm burning the fire pretty low. I don't even see much there, but there's just a little flame. There's not much. There's one piece of wood that I just tossed in. That's why it's flaming so high. But I'm keeping the fire low. I'm only putting in one little piece of wood at a time, which actually with this stove is quite efficient, so that's alright. Looking here at the nozzle, there's no steam coming out yet. And the pipes are pretty warm. They're getting actually pretty hot. So it's doing its job. That's as hot as I want to get it actually for the water temperature. I put a paper towel under there just so I can tell if it leaks. So far everything's holding. There's no new leaks. Everything seems alright. The blowers are doing fine. So I might make it through the night. We'll see. I think my batteries are hurt. They were brand new. They were only used a few months before being put aside for winter. They were put aside with a full charge on them. But that's just with 1 amp on my batteries. I just turned on the pump and the fans. That's the only thing on right now. There's no lights on in here. And it's showing 11.5 volts after a whole day of being charged by the solar panel. So something's wrong. I don't understand. They weren't like that when I put them away. Well, I've got heat. I'm running the fireplace in limp mode. There's barely anything in there. And this is how I'm running it. I'm keeping it really low. Nah, it's 60. I'm surprised. It's 60 degrees in here. Got the fans working, so there's no leak. Although, as I said, I'm keeping the temperature of the fireplace down so I don't put any real pressure on the water because I got the nozzle open. And my biggest problem is my batteries must be hurt, because this is after 2 whole days of sunlight and only running, I'm putting 6-7 amps of charge into them every day and only running 1 amp of power for a few hours at night before I go to bed, and then I shut off the fireplace. My only light is this LED rope light and a candle. That's to save electricity. That's all I'm using. That's my only light right now. And the only power being drawn out is from that heater. So I don't know what's wrong with my batteries. Well, it's 11:15. I've let the fire go down. It never did blow out steam, so that was a success. That was all fine. My batteries are too low, and I'm gonna go to bed. So that's it for tonight. I need to get a switch on this right away. Power's off for the night. My battery is showing 12.5 volts when I shut off those tiny little computer fans, and when I turn them on it's at 11.4, which tells me the batteries are damaged. So I've got a problem.